Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
2 men shot while skating at a San Antonio park. What police are saying about the search for a suspect so far.
And new documents show that Uvalde CISD knew an officer they recently hired was under investigation for her response to the massacre at Robb Elementary back in May.
As the school district that I send my children off to, I expect them to be vetting these officers to make sure that the right people are tasked with protecting our students.
Now that that officer is fired, how the school district is apologizing for the incident.
And live look outside with live cam. Looks like yesterday, the day before that. And it'll probably look like that tomorrow.
It's not a bad thing.
No, not too bad.
No.
And the best thing is it's Friday, October 7th, so good morning.
Yes, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a good week. But like you said, the weather's kind of been the same, a little cool in the morning. But now I'm seeing what Mike was saying yesterday. I felt like there was a little more humidity today.
Each and every day is just a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit more this morning, and then we got a lot of clouds out there too. They're going to be sticking around, so that's one of the differences. You know, the past few mornings ago we had some of those early morning clouds, and it cleared out nicely. We're going to keep plenty of clouds around throughout the day today, and despite that, we're still going to be on the warm side. Okay, now when David walked into the studio and I had this graphic, it was, ooh, there's rain out. Well, yes and no. Don't get really excited about seeing this. There is a little bit of rain being reported around Laredo. There's a little disturbance coming on in here. And I've got the wording saying a couple of sprinkles around. I think that's pretty much going to be about it, because we will still have some dry enough air down here at the surface that anything that really does fall as this kind of moves its way into our area, this is not like any big storm producer or anything like that. Most of the rain would evaporate before it reaches the ground. There, like I said, maybe a sprinkle here or there today, but and I wouldn't get really, really excited about it. Temperature right now is at 70, 60 in Comfort, and these numbers, everybody's now in the, well, except for Hondo, up into the 50s, and even a dew point of 61 in Pleasanton, above that threshold line of 60. So yes, it's starting to feel more humid. Humidity will drop somewhat in the afternoon. And that's, again, why a lot of the rain, if anything does fall, would be evaporating before it reaches the ground. Ragweed's moderate, mold is on the light side. And once again, we do have an ozone action day in effect throughout the day today. Plenty of clouds around here this morning. We are going to be dropping down to the mid 60s, so we'll be slightly above normal as opposed to the past few mornings when it's been on the cool side. And just keep a bunch of clouds around today. Perhaps a couple of peaks of sunshine. Wouldn't count on too much of that. Still 87 degrees, slightly above normal. One or two of those, little sprinkly showers scattered about here or there. Weekend, still going to be warm, slightly humid, and a bit more in the way of sunshine. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, David.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating a shooting that left 2 men with life-threatening injuries. It happened last night in the 1500 block of Fresno Street on the city's near northwest side. Police say someone called for help after 2 men, 19 and 20 years old, showed up at their doorstep with gunshot wounds. Now, the 2 men were skating at a park when they were shot and had managed to walk to that nearby house. They did not know who pulled the trigger. Right now, police are still working on gathering information. They do not know how the incident happened or exactly where it happened. Officers have searched 3 parks near Fresno Street so far, but they have not found a crime scene. The 19 and 20-year-old were taken to University Hospital.
And we have an Amber Alert this morning. The Polk County Sheriff's Office in East Texas is searching for Sunny Ray Maliki. She is 2 weeks old, weighs 8 pounds, and has brown hair, blue eyes, and was last seen wearing a pink shirt and a diaper. Police are also looking for 31-year-old Sylvia Nicole Norman in connection with this abduction. She is 31 years old and has tattoos on her back and left arm. Law enforcement officials believe the child is in grave or immediate danger. If you have any information regarding this abduction, you're asked to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and that number is 936-327-6810.
A former DPS trooper who was at Robb Elementary on May 24th is now out of another job just months after she was hired at Uvalde CISD.
ABC's Andrea Fujii has reaction from parents and the apology from the school district.
This morning, documents show the Uvalde, Texas school district knew an officer they recently hired was under investigation for her response to the massacre at Robb Elementary back in May, where 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. But they hired her anyway. Now that officer, Crimson Elizondo, has been fired.
They don't do their good background checks.
Victims' families yesterday protested the revelation that the district had hired Elizondo, formerly a state trooper, who was the first to enter the hallway after the shooter gained access to a classroom. Law enforcement waited 77 minutes to take down the shooter. Elizondo was caught on tape saying afterwards that she would have gone in if her son had been inside. Parents appalled that Elizondo was hired by the very school district she was supposed to protect.
Why? Why not our kids? Why wouldn't she not been in that room? Why not? If she would have saved her kids, why not mine?
The Uvalde district saying in a statement, "We sincerely apologize to the victims' families and the great Uvalde community for the pain that this revelation has caused." Documents show the district knew August 1st that Elizondo was under investigation for actions inconsistent with training and department requirements.
You know, as the school district that I send my children off to, I expect them to be vetting these officers to make sure that the right people are tasked with protecting our students.
Elizondo resigned from the Texas Department of Public Safety after the massacre to work for the Uvalde School District. So even though she's under investigation, she's no longer subject to any department discipline. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
In your morning headlines, President Biden sending a warning about the dangers behind Russian President Vladimir Putin's nuclear threats. It comes as Russia continues to face military setbacks in Ukraine. Biden says the direct threat of nuclear weapons is the first since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. But despite Biden's warning, a U.S. official says they have not seen a change to Russia's nuclear posture. Last week, Putin announced the illegal annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions, saying Russia would use all available means to defend their areas. Putin also added that the U.S. had created a precedent for nuclear attacks in the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II.
Special agents with the Department of Homeland Security are now investigating a human smuggling case involving dozens of migrants in the McAllen area. The Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office says they got a call from a concerned citizen about a semi-truck parked at a home. Deputies and Border Patrol agents showed up to investigate and found 84 migrants inside that truck. The sheriff believes they are all from Central America. None of the migrants asked for medical help after being found.
Sources say federal prosecutors could bring charges against President Biden's son, Hunter Biden. The Washington Post reports prosecutors believe they have sufficient evidence to charge the president's son in 2 areas: tax crimes and making a false statement regarding a gun purchase. Investigators have looked into multiple facets of Hunter Biden's life, initially focusing on tax issues and money transfers related to business activities in China. The younger Biden has spoken publicly about his drug addiction. That raised the possibility that he broke federal law prohibiting firearm purchases by anyone who uses or is addicted to illegal drugs. However, no decision has been made to move forward, and nothing is likely to happen before the midterm elections. U.S. Attorney David Weiss, a Trump appointee, is in charge of the federal investigation in Delaware.
And the time now, it's 4:38, and it's a cool 69 degrees out there.
The San Antonio Spurs looking pretty good last night in the first exhibition game at home against the Orlando Magic. What went right, what went wrong, and what Coach Pop is saying about the team's latest loss.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over there at I-35 at Benz Engelman. A few vehicles on the roadway. Things are moving right now. And let's look outside with live cam, starting your day at 69 degrees. Not too bad out there. A little bit more humidity in the air, but it's still cool. We'll be right back.
The Young Gun Spurs in action last night, hosting the Orlando Magic in the first preseason game at the AT&T Center this season. Both teams looking for their first win. One of the veterans, Josh Richardson, attacking the rim, putting it up, plus the foul. Spurs up by 13. A little later, Trey Jones, the floater. It falls. Spurs led by as many as 17 in the first. Rookie Blake Wesley pump fakes the 3, then puts it on the floor. Going to the lane for the bucket. Spurs now up 16. They turn to the defense. Caleb Diop comes away with the steal, starts the fast break, leaves it for Devin Vassell. Spurs up 52-49 at the break. Later in the game, Magic take a 5-point lead. Orlando then throws the ball away. Tommy Kushi hustles for the steal, taking it the other way for Elise Johnson for the bucket. But the Spurs could not complete the comeback. They end up falling 102-99.
A lot of guys played better than the other night. We were more physical. We moved better on offense, so I thought that they got better.
Tonight we came out and had a different mindset, had some good practices, going over some stuff, and I think we'll just continue to grow.
The NBA preseason continues. Next, the New Orleans Pelicans are in town. That game tips off Sunday, 6 o'clock. The AT&T Center, and the biggest fan in San Antonio will be there.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
When the Dallas Cowboys face the Rams in Los Angeles this Sunday, they're going to be 5.5-point underdogs. That's despite the fact that the Cowboys are 3-1 and the Rams are only 2-2. In those two losses, the Rams were blown out by the Bills and the Rams. So what happened when head coach Mike McCarthy was informed of the fact the odds were against the Cowboys?
We're underdogs? We're good. All right. Just wrote my Saturday night speech. I'm good. No, I haven't. I've never used it, but I'll just say this: we're nobody's underdog. So if you need a quote.
We aren't, and that's just how we move around here, and that's personally how we feel towards any team and whoever we play. And I felt like we've had this confidence since going into week one, and then even after week one happened, we understood like the situation, the type of team we are, and the kind of message we want to send out to the league. So just kind of trying to put those, those days, hard work days of practice, together, and just come Sunday, it's time to, perform.
We are nobody's underdog. We're going to find out Sunday. Cowboys kick off against the Rams, 3:25. KSAT 12 Sports will be there. Hey, high school water polo is still a work in progress for San Antonio ISD schools. 7 schools from the district officially adopted the sport under the UIL umbrella, but only Highlands has the numbers to actually field a full team on a regular basis. Prior to the season, the Owls were one of many schools that played water polo for fun. Most of their roster was comprised of members of the swim team, but now athletes from other sports are starting to participate as well. So how different is playing water polo now that it is a UIL sport?
A big difference. Like a lot of the teams, like the competitions were like friendly competitions, but now since we're UIL, it's a lot much more competitive, which I like.
Now that it's UIL, it's making it a lot more real and it's more intense. And then seeing the other teams get just as serious and the other coaches, it's really cool.
The bi-district round of water polo playoffs begins Monday, October 10th. Water polo, new sport to Texas, to South Texas. And the only thing a lot of us know about water polo is you got to be able to swim really good.
Yes, very good. So good luck to the team out there.
That's awesome.
Yes. Time now, 4:45 and 69 degrees for now.
There's another scam involving people posing as utility company workers. What you need to know to avoid pouring your money down the drain.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning about a scam costing consumers. Denise Banks says she always pays her water bill. But just a few weeks ago, she says there was someone calling her cell phone who was pretending to be from her local water company, and they were threatening to cut off the water to her house if she didn't pay them right away.
I honestly believe that I was talking to somebody from the Waterworks company.
She says they demanded she pay them $235 through Zelle, a mobile payment transfer service that you can use through your banking app on your phone. She was so frightened, she gave them her bank information, and in a matter of seconds, they took every dollar she had in the account.
It could be a hardship for someone else less as fortunate as I am.
This morning, Zelle is trying to help customers avoid pouring money down the drain, saying your utility company will never ask you to pay with Zelle or a gift card. And coming up at 7 a.m., how you can avoid the scammers. I'm Steve Lisanzami, ABC News, Atlanta.
Get outside and check the traffic. What do you think on a Friday morning?
4:49 doesn't look too bad, David.
There's some headlights out there.
Yeah, this is the time to take your trip. It's very, very empty there at I-35 at Benz Engelman.
Rolled down the window today, and the humidity got back in.
Yeah, a little bit there.
Just a little
It wasn't quite
bit.
as dry as it's been in the past in the mornings.
Well, we're trying to get a different picture. There
you go.
Back to that story Steve Osunsami did about utility scams and all that stuff. One time, a few years ago, somebody called and left a message, and I called that number back. They had actually taken the actual little music that plays and the intro when you call CPS and did that. So never ever fall for it.
Goodness.
Yeah. Somebody leaves a number, call the number that you have. They won't call. Utilities won't to, get you for money or something like that. So,
they'll mail you instead.
Always be careful with that. So, all right. Before the clouds moved on in here, had a gorgeous night last night. It was beautiful to look at that moon, some of the stars out there. It's in Wilson County, amazing looking. The moon is going to be full on the 9th. And right now, we've got, really can't see them too well, but there are clouds out there. We are at 70 right now, 60s in portions of the hill country. So temperatures are definitely up compared to this time yesterday, thanks to that cloud cover out there. It's kind of acting like a blanket on top of us. 72 Canyon Lake, 68 Port SA, 70 in Helotes, and 63 in Boerne Stage. The numbers are up about, in some cases close to 10 degrees compared to yesterday. All right. Yes, there is some rain down around Laredo right now. A couple of sprinkles are being reported in Laredo, but it's not, as it moves on up further, we are going to be seeing some echoes picked up on radar, but a lot of this may evaporate, especially later on this afternoon as we get some drier air still down here in the lower levels of the atmosphere. We are going to be dropping down, going for 66 when it's all said and done this morning, so we're not going to drop down that much more. We will make it up through the 70s this morning. Lots of clouds around here. I think, yes, a couple of peaks of sunshine in places, maybe out in portions of the hill country, but for the most part, we're going to keep a lot of those mid-high clouds around. Yes, there's the 10% chance for a stray shower or two. We'll make it to the mid to upper 80s for a high temperature. So here's satellite picture as of right now. And as you can see, some of that rain is continuing to try and work its way up into the area. Elsewhere around the country, we do have, as you can see, this low which is spinning out there to the west of us, and that's what's helping to throw some of this energy up in here. But computer models really aren't that bullish on trying to get any rain coming on in here. Again, maybe a sprinkle or two throughout the afternoon. Down to the southeast primarily. That's going to really be the extent of it. Don't get really excited just because we're seeing something, unfortunately, on rain right now. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a big deal today. 83 degrees, cloudy skies at noon, and then high temperature is going to make it up, keeping it down a little bit. Now, despite these clouds, a couple of peaks of sunshine, we're still going to be at or slightly above normal. A few sprinkles primarily off to the southeast later on this afternoon. Now, we go into the weekend. We are going to be up in the upper 80s still, partly cloudy skies. The humidity, enough to notice it as we go on in through the weekend. In the first part of next week, we're going to be flirting right around 90. Upper 80s going into the middle of next week, and low temperatures are also, so 4 or 5 degrees above normal for high temperatures still, about, say 3-4 degrees for low temperatures above normal as those normals continue to drop off. There is a glimmer of hope that we get a front moving through late next week.
That'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Even looking at some long range stuff, this is not going to be the big doozy cold front for fall, plus not any rain.
No, not yet.
Or two.
Tomorrow night is the big walk downtown.
Yeah.
At Hemisphere Park, and it's going to be a little humid, a little warm.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad. It's not going to be that bone dry air, but it's not like you're going to be out there sweating. It's just going to, you'll kind of notice it. So.
Yeah.
But if it's 90, we'll be sweating.
You can probably, you'll be safe to be in shorts.
Yes, it'll be in the evening though, so that's better. Yeah.
4:53 and 68 degrees.
And coming up next, a first look at a brand new movie about World War I veterans, plus why Justin Bieber is postponing or canceling his entire tour.
Welcome back. It is 4:56. A new movie about World War I veterans hits the theaters this weekend.
For the latest what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
we're in a bit of a predicament.
The star-studded new film, Amsterdam, is about a lot of things, but friendship is at the center of the story of World War I veterans who come together to fight fascism. John David Washington plays a soldier who is part of an infantry regiment named the Harlem Hellfighters, a very real group of mostly African Americans. Washington told me he learned a lot about
how they fought for this country and the whole notion of double victory, not only winning for your countrymen, but equal rights and sort of the politicizing this whole idea of us being equal, citizens.
Amsterdam is in theaters this weekend.
You don't get to decide who we are, where we go, or how much we cost. Like we're just things. We're not things. We're people.
The new Lena Dunham movie, Catherine Called Birdie, is like nothing you've ever seen from her before. She wrote and directed the medieval coming-of-age film about a teen figuring out her place in the world, telling me she felt most young adult movies had become about franchises and tentpoles and magical powers.
And I missed the kinds of movies that seemed like they were really just about young people slugging it through adolescence.
Catherine Called Birdie is streaming today on Prime Video. Justin Bieber has now postponed or canceled his entire Justice tour as he continues to recover from Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Half the tour originally put on pause last month. Now it's the whole thing. And happy birthday to Joy Behar. The View co-host is 80 today, while Grammy-winning singer Toni Braxton is 55. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
458, 68 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, UTSA is making a major announcement today. We're going to tell you about its big plan for the future for students and research.
Fall is the time to be planting your Texas wildflower seeds. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up on GMSA, I'll take you to my garden where we try out some steps that experts say may help you see more blooms in the spring.
And outside with Trans Guide, RJ Marquez just walked in and he's ready to let you know what the traffic looks like on a Friday morning. So far, it looks pretty good, but we'll have the details for you coming up in the next half hour. You are watching GMSA. We will be right back.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The new nuclear warning from President Biden. I'm ABC's Jay O'Brien. That, plus the Russians fleeing that country to the U.S. coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're starting at 69 degrees. There's a hint of humidity in the air.
Just a hint, but even a bigger hint, it's Friday.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to know.
That's a good hint.
It's October 7th, and it's an October Friday.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
great.
if that makes any difference in being any other month of a Friday.
It makes it more fun because this is the first Friday of October.
That's true.
So happy October, happy
Wow.
Friday. Yeah.
There you go.
A fun month, I think.
And it's a little humid.
And it makes it more fun because Steph has on her ghost earrings.
Aw, yes.
We didn't get a chance to get a close-up of it. We will.
I thought you weren't supposed to be able to see them.
That's true. Well, yeah, okay.
There are different types of ghosts.
Sometimes you see ghosts, though.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
Oh, I saw cats.
It'd be really nice, though, since it's the Friday in October, if it was kind of like jacket weather. Not really. You've had a jacket on, sweatshirt every morning this week, but not really. 69 degrees right now here in town. That bottom number, dew point, has gone up again. Each and every day we went up a degree, a couple of degrees as far as dew points and therefore the humidity. And it's not like, it slaps you in the face when you walk outside, but you notice it a bit more. We will make it up to the mid-upper 80s later on this afternoon, down from where we were yesterday. We actually hit 90 yesterday, and the aquifer went down 0.2 of a foot, and ragweed is moderate, mold is on the low side. All right. I'm a little hesitant to show, first of all, football forecast. Not hesitant to show this for tonight. It's going to be a very mild evening, and temperatures are going to be right around 85 degrees at kickoff and then 80 at halftime. Sun goes down just about, right about 10 after 7 tonight, and a lot of clouds out there. Now, this is what I was going to talk about. Hesitant to show this. Yes, there is some rain being detected on radar down here around Laredo. Light rain is the latest report there. And since some of these sprinkles are trying to work their way further to the north, but a lot of this with the dry air out there is probably evaporating. That's going to be the situation later on this afternoon. So cloudy, not as cool. Cloudy with a couple of sprinkles. There may be a peak of sunshine out there today. I wouldn't count on that. A couple of sprinkles. I'm just going to call it that. Mainly down to the east and to the southeast. It is going to be on the warm side. Temperatures, like I said, mid and in some cases leaning toward the upper 80s. Some clouds over the weekend. We'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Once again, upper 80s, and that's going to be the trend going into next week with some more sunshine around here. And then later on in the week, on the warm side, we're hoping for some sort of a front to work its way down into the area. And that, as of right now, does not look like it's going to be the big fall cold front that we always wait for. But a couple of sprinkles around here today. Wouldn't get too excited about it, though. It's going to be a gee whiz at best. More on the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning to R.J. I can pause in between the letters there. R.J. Marquez.
Yeah, Mike, thank you very much. And of course, filling in today for Stephen Cavazos, who's taking a day off this morning. And things looking pretty good as far as the first Friday in October on our roadways. Taking a look at some TransGuide cameras this morning. Loop 1604, you see looking pretty good there at Pat Booker Road as people kind of get ready to get set on their Friday. I want to take you to a bird's eye view of our map. You can see a lot of green there. That is good news so far, but I did want to bring your attention to something here on the east side. Nothing being reported right now from KSAT, but you could see a little bit of red there at the northeast Loop 410 interchange where it meets I-10. So just kind of keep an eye on that, and I will continue to follow that as we kind of make our way through the morning, see if that is anything to note, and I will let you guys know about that here in just a little bit. Want to bring you now to some inbound times this morning. I-10 Seguin to downtown looking pretty good. 30 minutes there. Livernia to downtown 33 minutes, and Floresville to downtown 28 minutes. Again, a lot of green on the screen right now as we go back out to TransGuide. Again, Loop 410 at Broadway. Things looking pretty solid, guys, as we start the first Friday in October. Loop 410 Parambital. 281 at San Pedro. Very good stuff this morning. Back to you guys.
Very good. Thank you, RJ. New this morning, a San Antonio firefighter has resigned after he was accused of behaving inappropriately with migrants. That is according to the San Antonio Fire Department Public Information Officer, Joe Arrington. In a statement, the fire department stated that while not related to conduct with minors, the city was made aware that Mr. Onks treated female migrants disrespectfully and inappropriately. The city's investigation of this complaint showed his actions included making inappropriate comments and taking photos of female migrants. The city considers this conduct unacceptable and inconsistent with employment with the city. Mr. Onks resigned before the city could take action, end quote. A former Bexar County constable convicted of tampering with evidence will have to wait longer to learn her fate. Attorneys and the prosecution in the Michelle Barrientos Vela case are preparing to make their case for whether a former employee should be allowed to testify. Mark D. Garcia served as a captain under Barrientos Vela. Earlier this week, he agreed to testify against her in exchange for having his own charges dropped. Judge Velia Mesa gave attorneys and prosecutors 2 weeks to prepare. Barrientos Vela is due back in court on October 24th.
The UTSA kicking off the next phase of its $500 million fundraising campaign. It has already raised $311 million for what it calls Be Bold, a campaign for our future. Donations have come in from billionaire Mackenzie Scott, USAA, the Dell Technologies. UTSA plans to use the campaign to support student success, strategic growth, and its efforts as a public research university.
Tobin Hill area residents and businesses along the St. Mary's Strip expecting an update on construction today. Stakeholders are invited to a public meeting by the city's Public Works Department and Spyglass. The first of many weekly updates will be this afternoon at the Rumble at 4 p.m. The community has been at odds over the city's proposals to limit residential parking and possible noise ordinances change that could impact the nighttime business along that area.
President Biden issuing a stark warning about the war in Ukraine, saying Russian President Vladimir Putin is not joking when he threatens to use nuclear weapons on the battlefield.
ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest on that and the potential war crimes carried out by Russian troops.
This morning, President Biden making his most outspoken remarks yet about the threat of potential nuclear war. The president arrived back to the White House last night after telling his audience at a fundraiser that Russian President Vladimir Putin is, quote, not joking when he talks about the use of tactical nuclear weapons or biological or chemical weapons. Biden added, we have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis. U.S. officials have warned Russia could use weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine as Moscow faces a series of strategic setbacks. Ukrainian military officials say they've now taken back more than 150 square miles of land from the Russians since October 1st. And as Russian troops retreat, they're leaving behind new evidence of atrocities. Alexander is the deputy head of the team looking into possible war crimes. He says in practically every town, there were such places where people were brought in for interrogation and torture. His team getting a tip on a potential mass grave and unearthing this, an apparent torture pit dug into the ground. Buried near the bottom, what appears to be civilians. Meanwhile, the exodus of fighting-age men from Russia is taking a new turn. 2 Russians fleeing Putin's military draft have requested asylum in the U.S. after sailing across the Bering Strait to a remote island that belongs to Alaska. The Russians were taken to Anchorage for processing. The narrowest distance between mainland Russia and Alaska is about 55 miles. Now, the governor of Alaska says he does not anticipate a steady stream of Russians heading into his state anytime soon. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
It is now 5:10, 10 minutes after 5 o'clock, 69 degrees.
Google unveils its new Pixel 7 smartphone and how its latest smartwatch as a feature you might recognize.
And dead insects in a local coffee shop and rodent droppings in a box of soup. We'll tell you what else health inspectors found next and behind the kitchen door.
Oh, it's too early for that. Gross. Anyway, let's look outside with live cam. We're starting at 69 degrees. Not as cool as yesterday morning, but, still tolerable. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It is 13 minutes after 5 o'clock. A popular coffee spot in need of a deep cleaning and a Mexican restaurant makes its second appearance on Behind the Kitchen Door in less than 6 months.
Tim Gerber shows us the violations and even gets pelted by a Coke thrown by an angry employee.
Fajita Taco Place number 3 in the 1800 block of Thompson Place got an 81 on their recent inspection. That's 1 point better than they did in April when they were featured on BKD the first time. 5 of the violations were repeats from that previous inspection. Cooked meat was left on the stove in a pan. It was temped at 71 degrees when it should be 135 or higher. That meat was moved to cold holding. Meanwhile, raw meat was touching cooked meat in a cold unit, and a cook was seen touching tacos with bare hands. 6 violations were corrected during the inspection. This Jim's Coffee Shop in the 1800 block of Marbach had several dead insects throughout the business. The inspector writing the establishment was in need of a deep cleaning to remove the dead bugs. There was grease buildup around equipment, food debris in the walk-in cooler, and more inside the cold hold units. An employee was seen handling a ready-to-eat English muffin with bare hands, and beef patties had to be thrown out because they were past the discard date. The inspector gave them an 82 and ordered a re-inspection. The Rapido stop in the 3300 block of Clark Avenue earned an 84 despite having a rodent problem. A box of soup was filled with rodent droppings and damaged packaging, so it was thrown out. There was rodent waste on shelves and more evidence of pests inside the business. The ice machine was in such bad shape they were told to stop selling bagged ice until rust could be removed from inside the ice maker.
I'm with KSAT 12. I do the behind the kitchen door. Do you know if the rat problem or mice problem was fixed?
I have no idea. I got here like 2 weeks ago.
This employee said she couldn't answer my question, so we left, but then she followed us outside and dumped her drink on our vehicle. So much for a Coke and a smile. That's what's behind the kitchen door. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
It is now 5:16 and 69 degrees.
And the new Twitter edit feature now in the U.S. We're going to tell you who can use it right now.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Ordinary tissues burn when Theo blows, so Puffs Plus lotion rescued his nose. With up to 50% more lotion, Puffs brings soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs Indeed, America's #1 lotion tissue.
Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys and hug you and kiss you and love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Things looking pretty good out on the roads right now. Pretty much smooth sailing throughout the San Antonio area. But as we take a look here at our TransGuide camera, this looks like a blocked exit ramp here at Loop 410 at Ingram. You can see a couple of emergency vehicles down in this area right there. And but this is not really causing any major issues at the moment. Just Loop 410 at Ingram Road, a blocked exit ramp there, as looks like emergency crews are fixing some issues down on that ramp a little bit. So a wide view of our map right now, and again, green looking pretty good right now around the San Antonio area. No major issues to talk about right now. A couple stalled vehicles in the area, but nothing that is causing any major backups in the highways or any of our major highways. A quick look at some inbound traffic times. Boerne to downtown, things looking pretty good there. Boulevardy to downtown, 27 minutes. New Braunfels to downtown, 25 minutes. And once again, looking at this TransGuide traffic shot here of Loop 410 at Ingram Road. Just keep caution if you are headed out on the roads right now. And again, just a reminder to be cautious of those emergency vehicles out there as they continue to do their work on a Friday morning. Guys?
Thank you, RJ. And just a reminder, yesterday on the way to work, somebody threw a cigarette butt out the window, went right up under my truck. And then on the way home yesterday, a huge grass fire. It is dry. Pay attention.
Bad time for that.
Yeah, I won't say it.
Don't throw cigarette butts.
I'm about to go off, but I won't go off right now. It's dry out there.
Yeah. Yes.
Very dry.
I mean, and even though, we don't have any strong winds in the forecast at all, and even though the humidity's coming up somewhat, we don't have a whole bunch. Now, despite the fact that there's nothing formally posted as far as, any sort of red flag warnings or fire weather watches, anything like that, just, like Dave was saying, don't do anything like that. All right, here's a shot. There's Sprocket. Loves to go for a walk around the neighborhood. Today's going to be a nice day to take a walk. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover out there. A sprinkle is possible. I really wouldn't get too worked up about any sort of rain chances. Right now, 410 over there by the airport's looking pretty good. It doesn't show up too well in this picture, but we do have a lot of clouds. We do have some rain that is showing up on radar right now down here well to the south around Laredo. Some of these sprinkles are trying to work their way a little further north. Now, as far as rain chances, some of this, first of all, is probably evaporating before it reaches the ground. Within the hour, Laredo did report a couple of very light showers around the area, but with some dry air down here at the surface, drier air, that is why some of this is going to be evaporating later on this afternoon. But there's still that chance, like I said, for a couple of sprinkles to actually make it all the way down to the ground. Temperatures are going to be staying milder than they have been the past couple of mornings. You may be able to get away without a jacket this morning. We're even down to 60, maybe kind of, give or take as far as a sweatshirt out in portions of the hill country. Make it up through the upper 70s and then 83 at noon. Again, plenty of clouds. Couple of peaks of sunshine here and there. That's pretty much going to be about it, and a 10% chance for a shower or two. 87 for a high temperature later on today. Here's one of the computer models, the rapid update model, and yes, it does have a couple of showers being picked up. Again, this is going to be very, very light at best. That would be later on this morning, just some of that energy kind of coming on in here, and then later on this afternoon, one or two of them perhaps. A couple of peaks of sunshine mixed in. That'll be about it. And then a little bit more in the way of some broken clouds, if you will, going into tonight as well as tomorrow. Quick check of the tropics. There is tropical depression number 13, which pretty much right on schedule is forecast to develop into something. Now it is a tropical depression that's going to continue to work its way westward into Central America. Whether any of that moisture tries to work its way up into our direction, that's still a wait to be seen situation. But as of right now, no impact on us and no good rain. Maybe just a sprinkle or two here and there. 83 degrees at noon, 87 high temperature. Couple of sprinkles, one or two of them, primarily to the east or to the southeast, and that's going to be the extent of it. It is going to be warm, a bit more humid over the weekend. Not oppressively humid, but enough to notice it. And that's going to be the case going in through the first part of next week. Hopefully, some sort of a front moves through here. I say some sort of a front because it's not going to be this huge blast of cooler air. May try and trim some of the humidity by late next week, but that's still sort of iffy.
Yeah, we're hoping for a front. We want it to continue to feel like fall somewhat.
Right, because it's not feeling too much like it this morning.
Not at all. But to be clear, the cigarette butt did not start the fire as far as I know, because it was in the morning. The fire was in the afternoon.
Okay.
So,
good.
Two different things.
But still
a good reminder. Yes.
Don't make me go down that road. I'll do it. We'll have to get the soapbox out thing, right?
Yes, early in the morning.
We'll hear that in the break.
Save that for 9. 524 and 69 degrees.
And coming up next, see Chris Pratt and Jack Black star in the new Super Mario teaser, plus a first look at Jennifer Lawrence in Causeway.
In today's Tech Bites, Google's newest devices, the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, are the first phones to use Google's new microchip. They retail for about $600 and $900 respectively. The new Pixel Watch comes with a Fitbit built in. All three will be available next Thursday. Twitter has rolled out its edit button to its Blue subscribers just days after it debuted in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Editing is available for 30 minutes after a tweet is sent. 5 changes are allowed. Edited tweets will have an edited icon next to them. TikTok has new editing tools. Content creators can now stack, trim, and even split videos. They can speed up or slow down clips, zoom in and out of frames, and reposition text. TikTok says the enhanced feature is making it even easier than ever to create great content. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It's 528, 69 degrees.
And if you missed out on it, back in 1986, McDonald's is bringing back a classic Halloween Happy Meal. Yay! We'll tell you when you can get one.
And coming up ahead on GMSA at 6, we've got big game coverage for tonight's high school football matchups, what fans can expect, plus an inside look at our game of the week. President Joe Biden moving toward decriminalizing marijuana, the steps that need to happen first before it can be legal across the country.
A high school bonfire in Florida goes horribly wrong. We're going to tell you how students got away from getting hurt.
And outside with live cam, it is Friday. It's a little more humid than it was yesterday, but other than that, it's going to be kind of the same, but not kind of the same.
I got you.
How about that? Did I confuse you on a Friday?
No, I know exactly where you're coming from because I stepped out as well, and I felt that. I was like, okay, we do have that humidity back.
So which is kind of the same.
Kind of the same.
But not really.
At least I don't see 70 up there or 75 up there.
Straighten it out, Mike.
No, and the thing is, too, each and every day, the humidity's kind of gone up a little bit here, a little bit there. So it's not as though just all of a sudden one day it's like wham, and that's not the situation either when you step outside. We still have dew point temperatures that are below 60, although close to it. So yeah, it's where you notice the humidity. 69 degrees, a light breeze out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Of course, big football night tonight, and it's going to be really pleasant. Probably don't need a jacket for tonight's game. A lot of clouds around there. 85 kickoff, 80 at halftime. And we do have right now a couple of sprinkles that are showing up well down to the south. This looks more impressive than what it is. There have been some showers reported at Laredo within the hour. And then some of these light little sprinkles, some of this may actually be evaporating before it ever reaches the ground. So you can't just take this at face value because we do have that relatively dry air around here. But there is going to be the chance for a couple of sprinkles around the area later on today. Ragweed is moderate, mold is on the light side. Of course, the updated count's going to be coming out later on this morning, about 7:30 or so. 83, we're going to keep lots of clouds around today. That may be kind of tough to see, a little sunshine peeking on through here. 87 for high temperature. One or two of those sprinkles this morning, and then later on this afternoon, yeah, a couple of them here or there. Wouldn't get really excited about that. We're still going to be slightly above normal today. That will definitely be the trend going into the weekend as well as next week. Or, excuse me, more on the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, what's going on out there?
Yeah, smooth sailing so far, Mike, as we get set for our Friday morning. Taking a look at the TransGuide rotator camera here. Things looking pretty good. US 281 right there. 90 at Military. Things looking very good out on the roads right now. Taking a look now at the wide view of our map here. And as you can see, a lot of green in our area. We expect things to pick up a little bit more as we get closer to the 6 o'clock hour. But right now, be a good time to get out on the roads. If you want to grab some coffee, maybe pick up some early breakfast, that would be a good time to do it. Wanted to bring your attention to just a quick thing that's going on near I-10 on the northwest side. This was reported earlier as a stalled vehicle at I-10 at Woodstone Drive, but it appeared to be off the highway. So you can see right there, traffic still moving smoothly on both the eastbound and westbound lanes of I-10. And moving back out here to our TransGuide traffic cameras, our rotating camera here, I-37 at Hackberry, things looking pretty solid. Loop 410 at Ingram North, we mentioned that blocked exit ramp a little bit earlier, but traffic not backing up there. Loop 410 at Broadway, things looking pretty solid. We will continue to follow the roads as you get set to head out on your Friday morning. David, Stephanie?
Thank you, RJ. San Antonio police say a man was just steps away from having a safe return home after a night out. However, someone with a gun changed all of that. He was shot outside the door of his northwest side apartment. Katrina Weber is live downtown with that story. And Katrina, do police know why he was shot?
No, and at this point, they're not even sure who shot him, but it seems, though, that someone meant to do him serious harm. Police say the man who's in his 20s was shot 3 times, including once in the back of his head. They found him at the Connolly Apartments near Loop 410 and Evers Road around 2:30 this morning. Police say the man was headed to his home after a night out. They say he had just texted his girlfriend to tell her he was home, but she told police she heard arguing and gunshots a few minutes later, then opened her door and the boyfriend fell inside the apartment. Police say he was in critical condition and is being treated at a hospital for those gunshot wounds. At this point, they have not found the shooter and have not made any arrests. Reporting live near downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. And this morning, the U.S. moving toward decriminalizing marijuana.
And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, doing so completely would require action from Congress and possibly state lawmakers.
No one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana.
President Joe Biden is moving toward decriminalizing marijuana. He's pardoning people convicted of simple possession at the federal level. He's encouraging governors to do the same for state offenses, and he's ordering a review of whether marijuana should be a Schedule I narcotic. The Controlled Substance Act classified it that way in 1970.
This has been on the book saying marijuana is the equivalent of heroin. That it has no medical use, that it's highly addictive, that it's worse, according to scheduling, than cocaine and fentanyl.
Some say those steps are long overdue and a way for Biden to keep a campaign promise. Others say
Joe is rolling out a political Hail Mary.
The announcement comes about a month before the midterms and right after OPEC Plus announced oil production cuts starting in November. Those could increase U.S. gas prices and hurt the broader economy.
Joe Biden, he just doesn't want to talk about any of it.
Already 19 states and Washington, D.C. allow recreational marijuana use for those over 21, and most permit it for health reasons.
Cannabis can help treat pain. That is not an opinion. That is a consensus now by the big academies of science.
It just addresses the cannabis contradiction that exists with this disconnect we have between federal and state law. It rights a wrong.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
This morning, at least 131 people are dead following Hurricane Ian. The Florida Medical Examiners Commission has confirmed 2 more deaths. The North Carolina governor's office is also reporting 5 storm-related deaths. 3 people reportedly died in separate vehicle-related incidents on Friday, and 1 person died from carbon monoxide poisoning after running a generator in a closed garage.
Federal prosecutors are not convinced that former President Trump has returned all the government documents he possesses. Justice Department officials have told Trump's attorneys that they have an obligation to return all documents marked as classified. The New York Times reports there has been debate among the former president's attorneys on whether to cooperate or push back. According to the Times, Trump's more combative lawyers won out. DOJ says it found more than 300 classified documents so far in the material that had been kept at Mar-a-Lago.
A high school tradition goes horribly wrong in Florida. An annual homecoming bonfire exploded Wednesday in Lynn Haven, Florida. No one injured. The fire department was on site and students were at a safe distance behind a fence. The bonfire has been a tradition at that school for at least 50 years. It's also been conducted with law enforcement. The Bay County Sheriff's Office doesn't know what caused the explosion, but it is taking responsibility for it. The school district says any bonfire or similar event is now prohibited on any campus going forward.
And the time now, 5:39 and 69 degrees for now.
A special Halloween Happy Meal is coming back to McDonald's. Stephanie is fired up about it. Look at the buckets right there.
So cute.
Been a while. Coming back.
Can't wait. I don't know if I want to get it for me or my daughter. And also coming up next, a local entrepreneur has given the traditional Mexican concha a twist. Up next, how she's putting her biology degree to work in the kitchen.
And outside with Life Game, how far away are we from trick-or-treating with that bucket?
Not too far.
Not too far, like 3 weeks?
We'll need about
like
4 of those buckets each.
After the candy. And what's the weather going to be like on Halloween? Well, we'll get there one of these days, but what's it going to be like today and through this weekend? Mike's got the forecast coming up. San Antonio business entrepreneur is using her biology degree to create the perfect concha.
The owner of Concha Style says her business was something she loved to do as a hobby, but became her endeavor in the fall of 2020. With the help of friends and family, she launched the business that focuses on creating organic sourdough bread and conchas. During the pandemic, the graduate with a biology major and minor in neurobiology and chemistry discovered she has a knack for making delicious, healthy baked goods.
I think it's important to not doubt yourself at all. A lot of this is just like blind faith, going forward and forward and forward.
And you can find her products. They are baked fresh for the Alamo Heights Farmers Market and the Pearls Farmers Market.
Hold on, she's got a degree in biology and a minor in neurobiology and chemistry. And it's all working for her right there.
Yeah, it looked
She created
delicious.
some really good looking bread.
See, it pays off to pay attention
There
in
you go.
school.
Yeah. Now you tell me.
Time now, 5:43 and 69 degrees for now.
The most treasured event in Floresville is coming up this weekend, the Peanut Festival. Up next, why folks there say the festival this year is even more special.
And welcome back. It's 5:46. Exciting news. McDonald's is going back to its tried and true way to celebrate Halloween. The fast food giant says its Halloween Happy Meal Pels will return to restaurants later this month. McDonald's first introduced the Pel set featuring McBoo, McPumpkin, and McGoblin back in 1986. The company says the trio will be back in participating restaurants nationwide starting on October 18th. Oh, we have to wait. Customers will be able to buy a Happy Meal Pail through October 31st or while supplies last.
You get excited about a lot of things.
I am very
You are
excited.
like fired up about the McDonald's.
I cannot wait. I'm going to have to check. When does the 18th land on anyway? It's on a Tuesday. I'll be there, McDonald's.
All right. You might want to fill it with peanuts. This week, residents in Floresville are geared up for the most important weekend of the year down there.
That's right. Our meteorologist, Mia Montgomery, traveled to Wilson County to give us a preview of the annual Floresville Peanut Festival.
30 miles southeast of downtown San Antonio sits the city of Floresville. Population 7,844. Driving down 181, it looks like your typical small Texas town. But on the second weekend of October, you find something else lining the city streets downtown. Peanuts. That's the sign that the city's most treasured event is near, the Peanut Festival.
There's so many people that don't realize peanuts grow in the ground. They're not on a bush. They don't grow on top of the ground. And it's hard to imagine how these peanuts grow with the shell on them. The peanut is protected inside. It's pretty interesting.
David File and his family have been peanut farmers in Wilson County for nearly a century.
It's a crop that we need here in South Texas because it can withstand a lot of heat and rainfall.
While celebrating the importance of his crop is meaningful every October, this year is even more special. His granddaughter, Teva, is queen of this year's Court of Exotic Destinations.
Such an honor to be Queen Tune-Up this year, being that I come from the farming background. It's just such an honor to walk downtown and see all the peanuts hanging since they come from our farm.
I think it's so important for our community to continue celebrating our farmers that still continue to harvest peanuts here in our community.
Great food, amazing music, and all of the traditions that make this city the one that I know it to be, my hometown. In Floresville, meteorologist Mia Montgomery, KSAT 12 News.
She brought back a whole handful of peanuts yesterday.
Yes.
But we were warned not to eat them because they haven't fully developed yet.
Oh,
They're not
I
fully
gotcha.
grown. And she said, yeah, if you start eating them now, it might affect your stomach a little bit. So I was like, man.
Gotta wait just a little bit.
That's a tease. Yeah.
At least she
back all
brought
these
something.
peanuts and I can't even eat them.
At least she brought something. Well, I'm glad she made it out to her hometown on this
pretty
shoot.
good, didn't it?
Pretty cool.
So.
Time now, 5:49. Let's go ahead and get a check with traffic with RJ Marquez.
Yeah, Mia looked like she was having way too much fun out there. I need to find that bucket of peanuts. I didn't even see that yesterday here in the newsroom. How were we not notified about this? All right, guys, taking a look at our TransGuide traffic cameras. Again, smooth sailing for your Friday morning. Things looking pretty good out there on the roads. 281 at Bassey. Things looking very solid out there as we get set for our Friday US 90 there at Nogalitos. Things looking pretty solid. Again, our bird's eye view, the big map here. A lot of green on the screen, so we are good to go here. And a shout out to Mia right here as we do the inbound times here from Seguin to downtown, 29 minutes. Lavernia to downtown, 33 minutes. And as Mia just said right there, 30-minute drive from Floresville to downtown San Antonio. Right now, we're looking at 28 minutes right there. Taking you back out to our TransGuide traffic cameras. Again, things looking pretty solid. Earlier, we had that reported stall over on the northwest side on I-10 at Woodstone. That has been cleared according to TxDOT. So things looking pretty solid right now, guys. Mike?
We'll take it. Not bad.
One of the musicians going to be playing this weekend was on SA Live yesterday. Real nice. I mean, just, great little Texas guy, strumming the guitar, great singer. So
watch behind you.
I know.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
be
get
careful.
scared.
Be careful back there.
I'm trying to figure out which end is which here. So. That's Zane, our son Zane.
That's not ready.
Is that
Oh, so maybe hiding.
I
Away
don't
from the
know.
costume. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to tell, but
Great picture, though. Thank you.
but pretty funny.
There you go. Don't forget to scan that QR code and send in some of those KSAT Connect pictures. All right, we're not seeing too much, but there's lots of clouds out there this morning. That's helping you hold temperatures up much milder than yesterday. I mean, everybody in the hill country is down in the 50s yesterday. You might need a light jacket, Bernie Stage, comfort 61, 60 respectively, but elsewhere you can probably get away without it this morning. The humidity, which is still okay, but notice how Helotes is at 61. That's the threshold, right, when you get to 60. And so we're going to be kind of flirting with higher humidity readings the next couple of days and going into next week. Actually, our dew point is up 4 degrees compared to this time yesterday, 6 degrees higher in Pleasanton. Each and every day for the past couple of days, it's gone up a couple of degrees here and there. We do have some showers down here to the south, and as you can see, some of this energy is trying to work its way further up to the north. Laredo has been reporting a little bit of light rain out there. This is going to continue to work its way up in toward 37, maybe a couple of showers. But the thing is, there's some very dry air, despite the fact, yes, our dew points have gone up somewhat, but especially this afternoon, there's this dry layer of air in the atmosphere. And so anything that is detected on radar may not make it all the way to the ground. It may evaporate before it reaches the ground. Don't be surprised if there is a sprinkler too, but this is not going to be any big deal by any stretch. 66 we will bottom out at, and then lots of clouds around this morning. Some sunshine, I think, thrown in later on today. We'll make it up to 87 degrees. Here's the 10% chance for just one or two little sprinkly showers out there. So again, this computer model has a couple of these showers in our southeastern counties later on this morning. Okay, and again, there's a bit more humidity down here to the southeast. Some may actually reach the ground. And then later on this afternoon, 1, 2, that'll be about it. A couple of breaks in the clouds here and there, a few more breaks in the overnight hours. And then tomorrow it's going to be sort of a smattering or a mixture of sunshine and clouds around the area. And then going into next week, pretty much that same thing. We're going to have some warm temperatures, 3-5 degrees above normal, and mixture of sunshine and clouds at times, and not really any good rain chances. 83 at noon, cloudy skies, and then a high temperature today is going to make it up to 87. Couple of sprinkles, just one or two of them out there. And then over the weekend, 88, mixture of sunshine and clouds, pushing at 90 to start off next week. A bit more humid. Not oppressively humid, but just you'll notice it. And hopefully something in the form of a front moves through here late next week. There's some indications, but wouldn't get too excited about that one either. Whole lot more coming up after this break.
Good morning. Coming up, the stark warning from President Biden overnight of the growing nuclear threat from Russia as Russian troops lose ground in Ukraine. Also this morning, our series Scam You with a warning about scammers claiming your utilities will be shut down if you don't pay right away. How to avoid falling for them. And Leah Michelle and the cast of Broadway's Funny Girl are live with a special performance to kick off the weekend. That's coming up right here on GMA.
And still ahead in our next hour of GMSA, new details on the Amber Alert pushed to your phones overnight. What police are saying about the 2-week-old baby and a possible suspect who they say took her. Plus,
fall is the time to be planting your Texas wildflower seeds. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up on GMSA, I'll take you to my garden where we try out some steps that experts say may help you see more blooms in the spring.
and we got big game coverage for tonight's high school football matchups, what fans can expect, plus an inside look at our game of the week as we take a look at some TransGuide cameras for you. RJ Marquez will be back in the next hour to get you up to date on the road. So far, looking pretty good Friday. Not bad. We'll be back after this.
And this morning on GMSA, a man falls into his girlfriend's apartment after being shot 3 times overnight. What police are saying about his condition and possible suspects.
Plus, UTSA making a major announcement today how their big plans could impact the future of students and research.
And it's Friday. Taking a look outside with live cam. 69 degrees, a little bit more humidity in the air, but it's Friday.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It is Friday. It's October 7th already, but it still feels like, I don't know, September?
A little bit, but not September in South Texas. A little better than that. You know, we're a little bit away from the 90s, at least for now.
And a little bit of humidity coming back in the air today?
Humidity came up, each and every day this week. It's been 1 degree, 2 degrees as far as dew points, and, just that much extra humidity, not that real dry air that we had like back last Sunday morning. And we've got more clouds around here. We did a couple of days ago have some morning clouds, but the difference was those cleared out. These are not going to. We're going to keep a lot of clouds around throughout the day. Yes, we do have a couple of sprinkly showers that are showing up on radar down here to the south. Some of these are trying to work their way in toward, say, 37. But a lot of this, and especially this afternoon, with this energy coming across here, is going to be evaporating before it reaches the ground. Now, yes, there may be a couple of light little sprinkly showers here and there, but I wouldn't count on a lot as far as rain is concerned with this. 68 here in town right now, 61 Bernie Stage, 59 in Comforts, maybe a light jacket out in portions of the hill country, but these numbers are up a good, even compared to yesterday, up around Comfort, 9-10 degrees almost. Compared to yesterday, it was down around 51 to 50 degrees or so. 71 at Canyon Lake. Ragweed, moderate. Mold is on the light side. Updated count, of course, comes out just after about 7 o'clock, 7:30 or so. We'll drop down another couple of notches, but that blanket of clouds is definitely going to keep us on the warm side, warmer than the past couple of days, and that's going to be the situation the next few days as well, staying milder with morning low temperatures. We'll keep a lot of clouds around this morning. Again, a light little sprinkler here or there down to the southeast, and then 83 at noon. High temperature today is going to make it up just to the, say, mid, leaning toward the upper 80s with plenty of clouds out there. A couple of peaks of sunshine are possible. Can't count that completely out. And then again, one or two of those little sprinkles out there. That's going to be about it as far as rain chances. The weekend, yes, it is going to be on the warm side going into next week. Can we buy any rain or steal rain or something? Get rain somehow. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ Marquez in this morning. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Yeah, good morning, Mike, and happy Friday to everyone out there, and hopefully everyone's being safe on the roads this morning. Taking a quick look at our TransGuide traffic cameras. This is our rotating camera throughout the city of San Antonio, and things looking pretty smooth. And we do expect things to pick up a little bit here over the next hour or so if people make their way to work and to school. Taking a look at the wide view here of our map, and again, not very many slowdowns here in the San Antonio area. We usually see things start to build up a little bit in the 1604 area, 281 area, but so far things looking pretty good there. Now, I did want to bring people's attention to something I saw on TxDOT earlier. They were reporting that there was a wrong-way driver at some point earlier this morning, about 10 minutes before 6 o'clock, and this is at I-10, the westbound lanes at Hill Street, so a little bit near the downtown area. Now, I've been looking through the TransGuide traffic cameras, have not noticed anything or any major slowdowns. This is something that we will continue to follow, but again, another reminder for everyone to be safe on the roads. But again, does not look like anything has happened here. This was reported, again, 5:50 this morning by TxDOT. Doesn't seem like there's any major issue at the moment. All right, taking us back outside with our TransGuide traffic cameras, I-37 Jones Avenue, things looking pretty good there. And then as we take a trip here to Hackberry, things looking pretty solid there as well. Back to you guys.
A man on his way home from a night out now starting his day in the hospital.
San Antonio police say someone shot him steps away from his front door.
Katrina Weber is downtown with a live report. Now, Katrina, you mentioned that earlier he was shot several different times?
Well, that's right. Police say he was shot in his arm, leg, and the back of his head. And they say he was in critical condition as he left for a hospital. The police tell us that his girlfriend found him around 2:30 this morning after opening the door to their apartment. This is near Loop 410 and Evers Road. Police say the man, who was in his 20s, was on his way home after a night out with friends. His girlfriend told officers he had just sent her a text message telling her that he made it home. A few minutes later, she says she heard an argument and gunshots. And when she opened her door, she says the victim fell inside the apartment. And again, he was taken to a hospital. Police say at this point they don't know why he was shot, and they do not know who shot him. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Also new this morning, San Antonio police investigating a shooting that left two men with life-threatening injuries. It happened last night along Fresno Street on the city's near northwest side. Police say someone called for help after two men ages 19 and 20 years old showed up at their doorstep with gunshot wounds. Now, the two men didn't know the person who pulled the trigger, and police tell us the victims walked to that house after they were shot while they were skating at a nearby park. Right now, police are still working to find out what happened and where. Officers have searched 3 parks near Fresno Street so far, but they haven't found a crime scene. The 2 men were taken to University Hospital.
Bond has been set for a man behind bars this morning accused of robbing another man at gunpoint. This happened back on September 17th along Heavener Road. Now, police say the man, 22-year-old Joe Castillo, approached a victim at his car, pointed a gun to his head, and demanded he give up his car keys. That is when police say Castillo pistol whipped the victim repeatedly, causing the man to fall to the ground bleeding. The victim's wallet and cell phone were also taken. Castillo is under a $75,000 bond at this time.
Now to an Amber Alert. The Polk County Sheriff's Office in East Texas is searching for Sunny Ray Malik. She is 2 weeks old. She weighs 8 pounds and has brown hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a pink shirt and a diaper. They're also looking for 31-year-old Sylvia Nicole Norman in connection with the abduction. She's 31 years old and has tattoos on her back and left arm. Law enforcement believe the child is in grave or immediate danger. If you have any information regarding this abduction, you're asked to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office at that number on your screen.
Happening today, UTSA is kicking off the next phase of its $500 million fundraising campaign. The school has already raised $300 million for what it calls, quote, Be Bold, a campaign for the future. Quote, donations have come in from billionaire Mackenzie Scott, USAA, and Dell Technologies. UTSA plans to use the campaign to support student success, strategic growth, and its efforts as a public research university.
And looking ahead, we are just over a month away from the November midterms, and you may be wondering who and what is exactly on the ballot. We've got a sample one for you on KSAT.com. Of course, the governor's race being a big one, but there's a lot of local elections taking place as well, like the one for county judge. If you want to vote, you're running out of time to register. The deadline is next Tuesday, October 11th. And if you take a second to scan the QR code on your screen, it'll take you directly to the vote section on KSAT.com. There you can find everything you need to know for the November election.
And also looking ahead, this weekend is the Barbacoa and Big Red Festival here in San Antonio.
It's the first time the festival's back in action since the pandemic started.
Everything kicks off tomorrow from 4 to 11 p.m. and then again on Sunday from 10 a.m. to midnight. You can buy tickets now. They're $10 for adults, and children 12 and under are free.
And the festival is at R&J Music Pavilion on Pleasanton Road on the city's south side. You can find all the information on our website, KSAT.com.
Time now, 6:08, and it is 69 degrees out there.
And still coming up on GMSA, Twitter giving you a chance to fix your online typos. But it's not ready for everyone just yet. We'll tell you why in a few minutes.
And after the break, are you ready for some football? David is. What fans can expect from tonight's high school football matchups, plus an inside look at our game of the week.
And outside with live cam, going to be a little humid tonight for kickoff, but pretty pleasant. And then this weekend, we have Light the Night going on at Hemisphere Park downtown.
As well.
So a lot of activities going on, and Mike's going to let you know what it's going to look like this weekend as far as your forecast is concerned. Coming up. Many coaches say the real high school football season begins with district play.
And that's certainly how Steele feels right now as they open 27-6A play against New Braunfels in our game of the week.
KSAT 12's Andrew Seeley previews the matchup and some of the best games you can stream on the BGC app tonight.
We've got a strong little rivalry with this team throughout the past years.
Past couple years now have been close games. A couple years ago, we had to win off our last play, so I feel like it's going to be that type of atmosphere.
Undefeated Steel enters Friday night showdown at Lenhoff Stadium, riding a 10-game winning streak in the all-time series between the Knights and Unicorns. In fact, the last time New Braunfels defeated Steel at all was all the way back in 2007. But this is a brand new season, and the Unicorns have already proven they can play against the state's best.
And they're going to fight for 4 quarters just because, you know, the way they're coached and the pride that they have in their program. And our guys understand that. They've seen the fight that New Braunfels has.
We got a 5-week season right now. You have 5 weeks to win a district championship and earn a spot in the playoffs.
4-man pressure, lets it fly, heaves it, and it's caught for a touchdown! East Central with 2 seconds left.
East Central and Judson turned in one of the games of the year last season. This week, the two meet on the gridiron once again. Both teams are 2-3 coming in and look to start district play on the right foot. And Central Catholic opens up district play tonight against Houston St. Thomas. The Buttons enter with a 3-1 record, while the visiting Eagles are undefeated. Last year, the Buttons beat Houston St. Thomas 35-31, and the rematch is going to be right here again at Bob Benson Stadium, one of 10 games you'll be able to stream live on the BGC app. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Andrew Seeley.
It's not all about football, mostly, but not all, because high school water polo is still a work in progress, but it's happening for San Antonio ISD schools. 7 schools from the district officially adopted the sport under the UIL umbrella, but only Highlands has the numbers to actually field a full team on a regular basis. Prior to the season, the Owls were one of many schools that played water polo just for fun. Most of their roster featured members of the swim team, but now athletes from other sports are joining in, so we asked, how is playing water polo different now that it's a UIL sport?
big difference. Like a lot of the teams, like the competitions were like friendly competitions, but now like, you know, since we're UIL, it's a lot much more competitive, which I like.
Now that it's UIL, it's making it a lot more real and it's more intense. And then seeing the other teams get just as serious and the other coaches, it's really cool.
Looking ahead, the bi-district round of the water polo playoffs begin Monday, October 10th. That'd be worth just going and watching, even if you're not a big water polo fan. I mean, look at these kids. You got to swim the whole time.
I know, that's a lot of work.
Talk about having to be in shape.
I know, hats off to them.
That's just... Did you ever play water polo, RJ?
No, did not, but I was a lifeguard for a little while.
Close enough.
So, close enough. Treading water, that is really, really tough. So I give a lot of credit to those kids right there because that is a tough sport to play. Something that's not very tough right now is some of the traffic on our roadways right now. Things looking pretty good as we take a look at our TransGuide rotating camera here. Again, 37 at Jones Avenue. Things looking pretty solid this morning. Hackberry, we've seen those areas where things going pretty well this morning. Loop 410 Ingram. Earlier, there was a blocked exit ramp, but things looking okay in that area. Big map here, things looking very nice so far on our Friday morning. Not much to really worry about when it comes to a lot of the traffic in some of our busier areas. We'll see if that picks up throughout the morning. There was a reported stall here on I-35 at North New Braunfels Avenue. That was reported by Textile a little bit earlier, but as you can see, traffic in both those east and westbound lanes, north and south, things looking pretty good in that area. Taking you back out to TransGuide here, another quick look, and we had reported earlier about a wrong-way driver around the downtown area. That appears to have been cleared. Not sure if it was a false alarm, but TxDOT has cleared that from their incident page, so things looking pretty good out there on the roads, guys.
Good for a Friday morning. That's good news. I don't think they're going to need a hoodie this morning.
In parts of the hill country, we're down around 60 in places, maybe, but nothing like what we've had the past couple of mornings around here. Temperatures have been going up the past few days as time has rolled on. Is my bus not going to roll for me this morning? Darn.
Be late to school.
No.
Okay, to make up for it, check out this picture. This is one of the best as far as the outfit fitting the animal.
Oh, man.
Look at how perfect that is.
Ready for vacation.
Yes, indeed. Fireball 305.
How cute.
For Pitbull 305. But that hat and that shirt are perfect on that dog. I don't know if that's his natural expression or if it's like, get this off me or I look good. He looks good. But look at that's great. Scan the QR code, and that's going to make it easy to send us in some of these great KSAT Connect pictures. A lot of clouds hanging around here right now. Don't really show up too awfully well in that picture. 59 comfort, so yeah, probably sweatshirt weather, light jacket there. Bernie Stage, roughly the same. 63 Rio Medina and 68 here in town. These numbers, dew points, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, are up compared to the past few mornings. Has been going up a degree or so each and every day, up 5 degrees from Hondo, Kerrville up to Fredericksburg, 4 degrees here in town. So that much more humidity, not like it slaps you in the face, but just enough to where you do feel it when you step outside. All right, as far as rain, we do have a couple of these showers down here to the south, right around Laredo has been reporting some of these showers. A few more just off the coast. There's a little bit of energy coming in here from the south. Some of these a lot of this is evaporating before it hits the ground. Some is obviously reaching the ground. There is going to be the chance for some of this rain throughout the rest of the morning. 1 or 2 of those showers down to the south. Primarily just cloudy skies. Temperatures will bottom out at 68 here in town. Make it up into the mid to upper 70s throughout the morning with a lot of clouds out there. Some sunshine thrown in, not a whole bunch. And then later on this afternoon, just a 10% chance for, again, 1 or 2 of those little light sprinkles. This is what this computer model, the rapid update model, which is handling this fairly well. A couple of these showers off to the east this morning, and then pretty much just cloudy skies. 1 or 2 little sprinkles may pop up later on this afternoon. That'll be about it. A couple of more holes in the clouds later on tonight, and then tomorrow it's just going to be sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds around here. So we've got a lot of moisture being pumped in from that low off to the south and west of us, and that will continue to be the case over the weekend. That thing's really not going to be moving all that much. The high is plunked down right there in the Gulf. That's not a good position to give us any good fall weather, and this will be the situation throughout most of next week. Then we get this big batch of cold air, which is going to be working its way into the Great Lakes by late in the week next week. The hope is, and with the high sort of shifting to the west, that this may try and pull some sort of a front in the area. It's not going to be a huge surge of any cold air, but at least it may trim some of these temperatures back down to normal readings by the latter part of next week. 83 at noon, cloudy skies. Again, 1 or 2 of those little sprinkly showers down to the south or southeast this morning, and then a sprinkle is possible this afternoon. 87 for a high temperature. Tomorrow and Sunday pretty much are going to be identical to each other. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, 88s, a bit more humid as we go in through the first part of next week. More sunshine, pushing at 90. I mean, we did hit 90 yesterday.
Ooh, not again.
And then by late next week, hopefully some sort of a front moves on through here. Maybe a little more promising 2 weeks from now, but again, that's 2 weeks from now and not even worth mentioning. So we can dream, we can hope.
We can keep our fingers crossed.
Right. It is so dry. You know, I have a couple of horses. Yep. Water trough in the back. It's the neighborhood watering hole.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Every animal in the neighborhood comes by and grabs a drink because all the tanks are like empty or the
goodness.
You know, that stagnant, nasty water. And they're like, let's go to the Sears house and have a drink. I'm like, come on.
Well, that's your community service.
Is it just the little woodland creatures too? You know, the raccoons and everything?
Oh, no, deer, fox,
everybody.
They're coming by to get a drink. So
the horses are going, come on over.
Yeah.
We got something.
Party at your house.
It is. 621 and it's 68 degrees.
And coming up next, Twitter isn't the only platform to roll out new editing tools. How TikTok is also getting involved.
Why hide your skin? If Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control.
Hide my skin? Not me.
By hitting eczema where it counts, Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of eczema.
Hide my skin? Not me.
And that means long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief for adults. With Dupixent, you can show more skin with less eczema.
Hide my skin? Not me.
Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can change how your skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice. Talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
In your consumer headlines, the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro are the first phones to use Google's new microchip. Right now, you can buy them for about $600 and $900, respectively. The new Pixel Watch also comes with a built-in Fitbit, and all 3 devices will be available in stores next Thursday.
Twitter has rolled out its edit button to the company's Blue subscribers just days after it debuted in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Editing is available for 30 minutes after a tweet is sent, and 5 changes are allowed. Edit tweets will have an edit icon next to them.
And Twitter isn't the only platform to roll out new editing tools. TikTok creators can now stack, trim, and split videos. Users can speed up or slow down clips and zoom in and out of frames and reposition words on the screen. TikTok says the enhanced features are making it easier to create great content. Interesting.
Very. So much so.
Time now, 6:26 and 68 degrees for now.
Still coming up at 6:30, the U.S. is moving toward decriminalizing marijuana. What Congress needs to do to make that happen.
And coming up next, outrage continues for parents in Uvalde after the school district hires and then fires a former DPS trooper. We're going to have the breakdown on the whole ordeal after this.
And a live look at the roads with Trans Guide. RJ Marquez been following all the traffic this morning all around the city. He's keeping up with almost every car on the road today. That's a busy.
A woman makes a disturbing discovery after opening her front door. She finds her boyfriend with gunshot wounds. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you why police believe the attack happened just steps away from his home.
Are we supposed to clap and applaud them for doing their job? No, they knew what they were doing. They did it anyways. They got caught.
Outrage continues for parents in Uvalde after an ordeal involving a former DPS trooper who was hired and then almost immediately fired. We're going to have the full breakdown next.
And outside with live cam, a lot of things going on this weekend. A little humidity back in the air to welcome in the weekend. Mike goes to hedge forecasts for the rest of Friday and on into this week. A lot of stuff happening this weekend, so to let you know what to do with that. Good morning. It is Friday, October 7th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to a good weekend, for the most part, weather-wise.
It is going to be on the warm side compared to normal. We are going to have a lot of mixture of sunshine and clouds, enough that if you're outside, lots of sunscreen, take some shade and some sunglasses. Peanut Festival, one thing down there in Floresville. It's going to be a nice weekend for it. We have got a lot of clouds starting off this morning. Can't really see them too awfully well in this picture. Obviously, when the sun starts to try and give us a glow this morning, you might be able to see those clouds a little bit better. 68 degrees right now, which is milder than yesterday, and we are on the above normal side as opposed to every other morning this weekend, or this week, pardon me, that we are below normal. 57 is the dew point. That has gone up compared to where we were at this time yesterday. Each and every day it's gone up just a little bit more. So there are a couple of showers down here to the south. They are moving off to the northeast. A few of these obviously are reaching the ground. Most the lighter stuff is evaporating before it reaches the ground. We'll still keep a couple of these down, especially down to the southeast. This morning, just one or two of them here and there. And then even this afternoon, a sprinkle or two. That'll be about the extent of it. 68 in town, 70 Helotes, 59 in Comfort. So still maybe a light jacket in some of the outlying areas. But boy, these numbers are, again, 7-8 degrees above where they were even yesterday, thanks to that cloud cover acting like a blanket. Ragweed's moderate, mold is on the low side, and cloudy, not as cool as yesterday. One or two of those sprinkles down to the south. Couple of sprinkles today. Wouldn't really get too excited about. We are going to be warm though, upper 80s. And then even warmer over the weekend. We'll have some clouds hanging around here, pushing at 90 actually, really through tomorrow as well as into the first part of next week. More sunshine next week. Hopefully there's some sort of a front that's going to work its way on through here by late next week. This is not going to be, as of right now, the big front we always wait for in the fall, but hopefully it's going to trim some temperatures, but that's still a week away. So between now and then, yep, it is going to be on the warm side. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ Marquez, what's going on, sir?
All right, Mike. Well, as we expected, things starting to definitely pick up on the roads. Wanted to show you this TransGuide traffic shot of I-35 at Loop 1604. You can see there's a couple of emergency vehicles there that are definitely slowing down traffic in that area. And this is something that we're continuing to follow. Kind of just popped up on TransGuide over the past couple of minutes. And I wanted to give you a closer look at what our maps are showing right now in this area. This is out by the Live Oak area. You can see Topperwine Judson Road right there. So traffic moving northbound appears to be pretty slowed down right now. And now it was earlier affecting the other side of the lanes as well. But things definitely in that northbound lanes moving a little bit slowly in that area. We will check out with TxDOT what exactly is going on. They had reported it earlier as a disabled vehicle. So again, I'm going to get on the phone with them here in just a little bit and see what is happening up in the Live Oak area as people kind of make their way through there. And taking a look at the wide view here, another accident that just kind of popped up in the Leon Valley area. I'll check on that one as well. That one literally over the past couple of minutes showed up. But for the most part, a lot of our normal traffic areas, things still moving a little bit smoothly. So that is good news. And taking another look here at this shot here, I-35 at Loop 1604. Again, the Pat Booker area around Live Oak. Take caution if you're headed out there. A series of emergency vehicles definitely slowing down traffic. Guys.
Thank you, RJ. New this morning, safety just a few steps away for a Northwest Side man.
Instead, someone shot him outside his home, leaving him in critical condition.
Katrina Weber is live downtown with that story. So, Katrina, we understand this happened after a night out. So do police believe the shooting is related to that?
Well, at this point, it seems they have no answers. They don't know why he was shot or who did it. The police found him at an apartment complex near Luke 410 and Evers Road. They got the call around 2:30 this morning. They say that the man who's in his 20s had gunshot wounds in his arm, leg, and the back of his head. Police say his girlfriend told them she had just received a text message from that man saying that he was home from his night out with friends. She says a few minutes later she heard arguing and gunshots outside. Then when she opened the door, she says her boyfriend fell into the apartment. He was taken to a hospital by ambulance. And again, police do not know who shot him. They have not made any arrests. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. The Uvalde Independent School District has now fired a recently hired district officer.
Officer Crimson Elizondo was a DPS trooper on the scene the day of the Robb Elementary shooting, and she's one of the troopers under investigation.
Frustrated parents and community members are outraged the hire even happened in the first place. John Paul Barajas breaks down what happened and what comes next.
Frustration from parents after learning a Uvalde CISD police officer was part of the DPS response on May 24th. Body cam video shows Crimson Elizondo in her DPS uniform at Robb Elementary within 2 minutes of the gunman entering the school.
Why? Why not our kids? Why wouldn't she not been in that room? Why not, if she would have saved her kids?
CNN reports Elizondo can also be heard on body cam video saying, quote, "If my son had been in there, I would have not been outside. I promise you that."
Our Lexi's life and everybody else's kids' lives didn't matter to hers, only if it was her boy.
Elizondo is one of 7 DPS officers under investigation for actions inconsistent with training and department requirements. DPS shared this letter with KSAT 12. It shows the district was notified by letter of the investigation, but it does not specify details such as Elizondo's involvement at Robb Elementary. That letter is dated July 28th, 2 days after the district requested information for a pre-employment background check on Elizondo, and 3 days after DPS records show those officers were recommended for investigation. UCISD's statement on Elizondo says, in part, quote, "We sincerely apologize to the victims' families and the greater Uvalde community for the pain that this revelation has caused."
Are we supposed to clap and applaud them for doing their job? No. They knew what they were doing. They did it anyways. They got caught.
Families we spoke with say hiring Elizondo in the first place shows them the district does not care about their students' safety. As for Elizondo applying to UCISD, they had this to say.
How dare you? You're disgusting.
How did she think that that was morally okay?
She could let babies die? That's hard. That's hard. It's incomprehensible.
Parents want to know why the district hired Elizondo, what their hiring process looks like, and why they, the parents, can't be a part of the process when it comes to those who are supposed to be protecting their kids. They're all questions we've also asked the district through email and voicemail, but have not heard back. In Uvalde, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And Uvalde parents and State Senator Roland Gutierrez also want DPS Director Stephen McCraw to resign. In a fiery statement, Gutierrez says, in part, quote, "It's time for Governor Abbott to call for McCraw's resignation and finally show an ounce of leadership and empathy for Uvalde families," end quote. We have the senator's full statement right now on our website at ksat.com.
And topping your morning national headlines, President Biden sending a warning about the dangers behind Russian President Vladimir Putin's nuclear threats. It comes as Russia continues to face military setbacks in Ukraine. Biden says the direct threat of nuclear weapons is the first since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. But despite Biden's warning, a U.S. official says they haven't seen a change to Russia's nuclear behavior. And last week, Putin announced the illegal annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions, saying Russia would use all available means to defend the areas. Putin also added the U.S. had created a precedent for nuclear attacks and the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II.
Back here at home, the U.S. is moving toward decriminalizing marijuana, but it will likely need action from Congress and possibly state lawmakers to make it happen. Just weeks before the midterm elections, President Biden is pardoning people convicted of simple possession at the federal level. The White House is also ordering a review of whether marijuana should be a Schedule I drug. For now, 19 states and Washington, D.C. all allow recreational marijuana use for people over 21, and most permit it for health reasons.
It is 6:39 and 69 degrees.
And here's Sarah Acosta with a preview of what's coming up.
Fall is the time to be planting your Texas wildflower seeds. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up on GMSA, I'll take you to my garden where we try out some steps that experts say may help you see more blooms in the spring.
And welcome back at 6:43, and it's officially October, and now is the time to plant your Texas wildflower seeds, including bluebonnets and other native wildflowers.
But it takes more than just tossing a bunch of seeds into a field to see those spring blooms.
Sarah Acosta spoke with a local native plant expert about what you can do to see successful results this coming spring.
Seeing our Texas bluebonnets or other wildflowers shoot up in March, it's a source of pride for us Texans. More importantly, our native wildflowers provide a healthy, diverse ecosystem, especially for our pollinators. And for the most part, September through October is the best time to start planting those seeds in South Texas.
So ideally, you would be planting that seed at the same time that nature does it. But if you're doing a mix and you're trying to keep it simple, fall is an excellent time.
Lee Marlowe is the sustainable landscape ecologist for the San Antonio River Authority. She says you need to follow some simple steps to see those seeds bloom in the spring. I bought my seeds from Native American Seed. It's a local company out of Junction, but they have a warehouse in New Braunfels, and they really know their native plants. Rather than just tossing them in the grass, she says they need to make soil contact. So I marked off an area to make a new wildflower bed in my garden. And I tilled up my grass, or lack of, for fresh soil to guarantee that seed to soil contact and place them gently right on top of the soil.
If you're doing a small area, sprinkling it around, maybe walking around on top of it after you've done it, maybe lightly raking it is the best way to do it because you don't want to bury those seeds.
Marlowe says burying the seeds too deep may cause them not to germinate. And experts say it's okay if your wildflower seeds start sprouting in the fall. For example, this is native milkweed that I planted at the start of September. You can see it's already growing pretty strong here. Now, this will most likely die back come the winter, but that's okay as long as the roots are established come the spring. They will hopefully sprout back up and be nice and strong. And for the first few weeks, make sure to keep the soil moist, especially since our ground is very dry from the current drought. Do a couple of deep waterings, then hand water daily for the first couple of weeks after planting. Marlowe says, most importantly, be patient because some might not start growing right away.
Some of them might just wait for even another year. So usually the seeds, they know what they're doing. They wait for the right conditions. That may or may not happen. Usually it's rain dependent and it's temperature dependent.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
I hope for Sarah's sake those flowers bloom bright come spring, all that work she just did.
I think they will. She's pretty good at that.
Yeah, she was like doing the tilling and the raking and the water, like everything. Wow.
Did a good job, Sarah.
Did.
RJ, do you have plants?
No, I do not. So I take a lot of advice from Sarah when it comes to things of that nature and planting. Yeah, she is really, really good at that. So props to her as she does a lot there to help our environment out. So shout out to Sarah. Guys, things are picking up this morning now. Along our roads here, Loop 410 at San Pedro, you can see a little bit of a backup here. But the big thing that we are now following is this crash over on I-35 headed northbound here. So we now confirm that this is a crash. Earlier it was reported as a disabled vehicle, potentially a stall, but I-35 northbound at Pat Booker Road, you could see that things have significantly slowed down there in that area, all the way back down to O'Connor Road as well. Topperwine being affected as well by this crash on Pat Booker and North 35 northbound lanes there. All right, taking a look at our wide view here, a couple of other accidents that have popped up. One right by the San Antonio airport that's kind of backing things up in that area, and the other one I wanted to bring your attention to, this crash on I-10 westbound at Wurzbach Road. So far, things moving smooth in that area. We'll continue to follow that crash up by Live Oak, though, and give you the latest here in just a little bit. Guys.
Thank you, RJ. I can't wait for you to show everyone the used skeleton.
Another fantastic picture, and the more you look at it, the more you see. First of all, there's the little guy up there on that box with the clubs too long, using the little putt-putt carpet right there, and a couple of, is that a dog and a cat? I'm not sure.
A couple of critters there. It looks like a squirrel.
Nearly broke 3 ribs laughing at it so hard. So, and you know what really makes that picture? And I don't think by choice, the dead grass.
Yeah,
it's just so fitting.
For people who are watching yesterday, we were looking for the little dog. Well, there you can see the dog in the corner. The dog yesterday, for those who are watching the little camping display, it was actually behind the Frisbee. Just a note.
Yes, on the left-hand side of it, though, and then golf ball in the mouth right there.
Cute.
So thank you very much. Keep them coming, those beautiful displays. All right, we got a lot of clouds. Starting to see a bit of a glow of the sunrise, but obviously cloud cover is definitely kind of hindering that, and that's going to be sticking around even into this evening. So we'll have plenty of clouds around tonight, 85 at kickoff, and then 80 right around halftime. Sun goes down just about 10 after 7 tonight. And temperatures right now, we are up about anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees compared to this time yesterday. 59 now, Bernie Stage, Comfort. Jacket weather, yes. Bandera, Kerrville, 68 here in town. Then you just go up to Bulverde at 62. Castroville still holding at 70. Yes, we do have a couple of sprinkly showers down there to the south, as you can see right here. Some rain being reported around Laredo, some of the extreme southern counties. Some of this is trying to obviously work its way up to the north. It's going to have a tough time. There may be 1 or 2 little showers, especially to our south and southeast, but it's not going to amount to anything. And then later on this afternoon, there is that chance for 1 or 2 of those showers out there, but it's going to be a sprinkle at best. And we'll have a lot of dry air down here in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So most anything, if it does fall, is probably going to be evaporating. Clouds around this morning. We make it up into the upper 70s, low 80s by noon. Top off at 87. There's that 10% chance of rain. Sunshine, if there's any, is going to be very, very limited. And again, here's the computer model, rapid update model. It's got a couple of these showers down to the southeast this morning, and then this afternoon, maybe 1 or 2 of them, perhaps a couple of glimpses of sunshine out there to the northwest. But it's going to be pretty cloudy today, and then sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds as we go into the weekend. 83 at noon today, and cloudy skies, a couple of these little sprinkles this morning, and then 1 or 2 of them possible later on this afternoon. 87 for a high temperature. Tomorrow, Sunday, 88s. Clouds, especially morning, some sunshine in the afternoon, and same thing going into next week. We're going to be pushing at 90. We did hit 90 yesterday, the first half of next week, and then another very small chance for a shower by later on in the week, and perhaps a bit of a front. Not much of it, though, by late next week. Yeah,
we'll take it if that happens.
Hopefully so.
Thanks, Mike.
650, 68 degrees.
And looking ahead, we are lighting the night in support of those affected by blood cancers. The event raises money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and we're going to be out there to kick off the festivities on GMSA.
And once again, about Outside with Live Can, that happens tomorrow evening downtown at Hemisphere Park. More details coming up, but we now know that it's going to be a little humid tomorrow, so hopefully the sun will go down and cool things off as we do the walk.
He was almost home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. A man returning from a night out now is starting the day in the hospital after being shot. San Antonio police found him around 2:30 this morning at an apartment complex near Loop 410 and Evers Road. They say his girlfriend told them he had just sent her a text message telling her he had made it home after a night out with friends. She says a short time later, she heard arguing and gunshots. Then she says she opened her door and her boyfriend fell inside the apartment. Now that man who's in his 20s was taken to a hospital. The last word we had was that he was in critical condition. Police continue to search for the shooter, but they say they have no idea why this man was shot. Reporting from downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, good Friday morning, guys. Following the latest on this accident near the Live Oak area, some good news as things have cleared out. Just talked with TransGuide I-35 at Topperwine Road. Things now moving smoothly there in that area. But want to take you to the wide map here, and you can see this incident right there near the San Antonio airport. That's something that we're going to continue to get a little bit more information on as the morning goes along. Caused a little bit of a slowdown in that area, 281 in the San Antonio airport vicinity. So this other crash that we were following earlier this morning. This is at I-10 westbound at Wurzbach Road. You can see the main lanes of the highway here not being affected. I was told earlier by TransGuide that the access road is now closed in that area. So just again, another thing to be very cautious about as we head out on the roads. But again, looking good here, I-35 at Topperwine. That accident near Live Oak has been cleared up. Mike, how are things looking?
Pretty good, RJ. We've got a lot of clouds out there, as you can see. Very dramatic view out there as the sun is thinking about coming over the horizon. Yeah, we do have a few showers well down to the south. They are working their way further up to the northeast. One or two of them in our south and southeastern counties this morning. Not going to amount to a heck of a lot, though. 68 here in town. Some 50s in the hill country, but in 70 right now at Canyon Lake. 83 at noon, 87 for a high temperature. One or two of those sprinkles out there later on this morning, and then warm this weekend.
All right, we'll watch out for it. Thanks for joining us. Have a great Friday.
GMA is next.